and welcome back to the mix-up. In the studio with me today, I have
Elvee
and
Kelly Woo.
Now, this is going to be a discussion about you guys and how you guys started making music together. So, Elvee, I'm going to just kick it over to you, and we'll kick this off.
Yeah. I think it started like in Wesley School.
In elementary school.
Elementary school. For sure. It was, you came over to Wesley in like fourth grade?
Yeah.
It was fourth grade.
From Farm Hill.
That's right.
So you guys have been making music together and rapping together for quite some time now.
Well, fourth grade at recess back then, Zach White.
Yep, we were just talking about the whites earlier.
Right. Yeah, it was the other whites.
Right. That's the one I told you that I remembered. Zachary White. Yeah.
And Zach used to bring in. He had this black. He was one of the first dudes with a boombox. Mm-hmm. And he used to bring this black double deck boombox and lay it on the path and play whatever was out. What was Run DMC at the time. Mm-hmm. And we would act like we was Run DMC. and rehearse the words over the song and stuff,
the words and the moves to the video.
Early TikTok.
Yep. Mm-hmm. TikToks. We was out there with nothing, no technology. But yeah, that's like where that's where we first met.
I know I worked with you guys at WESU Studio in like 2004, 2005 when I had the original mix-up show on WESU.
Yeah,
a lot had happened before that. Like after Wesley School, I mean,
at that time you guys have already graduated for a good long time. So I mean, we're talking years.
Yeah, that was like 11 years after we. Yeah, that was a while after we graduated. So we had like we said, we started in like fourth grade and stuff.
Yeah, and what happened was we went to Kegwin, and then like we got into different groups, so we weren't able to be.
We was in different clusters or whatever teams or whatever they call them.
In middle school.
Yeah. So it was like split. So he got his friends and my friends.
Yeah, you meet all different groups of people, and it's like
you kind of split off from there, and then flash forward to freshman year.
Yep, that's when we kind of like reconnected.
Yeah, I remember I was in a class and shout out to NEB. We happened to be in the same the same area, and I remember he was playing this tape and he's like, "Yo, this is Pocus." I said, "Who's Pocus?" He said, Pocus. Laramie. I said, "What?" I said, "For real?"
Pocus?
Yeah, that was his name back in the day.
That was your rap name back in the day?
I guess so.
Yes, way back.
So from Pocus to Elvee, the ultimate MC.
Yes.
You couldn't come up with mixing your initials into LV back then. You came up with Pocus.
Pocus.
You talking about this is early. So this is what
early.
This is freshman year in high school.
When you were
fat face.
Yeah, fat face dancing.
The fat face.
I just thought of something. So when you were in the movie Six Brothers in a Cadillac, you should have told them your original rap name was Pocus, and they would have gave you that name instead of Pookie. Because that would have actually been original to you, and it just sounds cooler than Pookie.
Pocus is tough, I like the name Pocus. This is fire.
So somehow, I had wound up on a talent show at Middletown High, and talent show, and I think after that was how me and Kelly Woo got up and
ripped it. Y'all ripped it.
We were talking. I think it was like maybe me and Lou Rock on stage.
You and Lou Rock and them white. You got it all white on.
Yep.
I remember y'all was like gleaming. It was two dark brothers in the gym. with the gleamingest, whitest suits on.
Was that like when the white like painter's pants with the graffiti was in style?
Yeah,
Is that about that time?
That is exactly.
Is that
what was in
when
style.
Everybody was wearing
I believe there was
the
some
white
design
painter's
on them.
pants?
Yeah, I believe
with
so.
some designs on them.
Yep, I actually believe that was the case, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend Dean that used to live on Green Street. That was actually he used to draw a lot of those pants back in the day.
The painter pants. Remember
Yep.
that was cool, yo?
What?
Everybody had the painter pants, yo.
Yep.
You got them from Bob's, yo.
Yep.
You know, and the thing is now all these kids are wearing skinny jeans.
Tight,
Back
extra
in the day, hip hop, you were wearing, you know, some like early '90s. There was the white painter's pants with the graffiti on them, and then there was, you know, always the baggy
You had
jeans
the cross colors
and Timbs
and all that.
And now you
Painter
see
pants,
these new rappers, and they're
Lays.
wearing flower blouses, not even shirts, blouses, like female blouses.
It's a different genre. It's a whole new genre.
And tight skinny jeans.
It's a whole different genre now. You know, it's not
Looking like Prince rapping.
So,
right.
So,
Exactly. That's Prince rapping out there.
So, you know, I got up with Kelly Woo, and he introduced me to what he was doing with people he was hanging out with, which was T Wood.
No.
You know, so I started hanging out with him and T Wood.
Out Knox Boulevard.
Yep.
Joe.
They brought me to Knox Boulevard. At the time, I was living out in Woodgate, across from Sutton Towers. At the time, up on Washington Street. So I'm going over there, hanging out with them. They're hanging out over there at the Muzzios. Shout out to the Muzzios.
Yeah, buddy, Beanie Bean, Chris.
You know, and so we're hanging out there, just being mad creative,
Man.
you know. And then we're going back to school and just talking about the weekend, like, you know, at that time we're like heavy in the rhymes. I'm playing basketball, and you know, we was just coming up with some great ideas.
That's all we would do is ball and rhyme. That's all we would do.
Play basketball and make music.
You know. And
Now you just add work into the mix.
Now we work. now it's a lot of work. And,
A lot
you know, I
less
got the
time
kids, I'm
for
running.
balling and rapping.
Yeah, I haven't seen balling or rapping in 5 minutes. You know, it's tough.
Yeah, Kelly Woo, you just talked about coming out of your little hip hop temporary retirement there.
Man, Tim,
It's been a while since we heard you on a track.
for real. It's been a while, long while. Well, I got, you know, I always like to write. You know, I write a little bit all the time, but I don't really.
Every once in a while, you get a song pops into your head, and you're like, I gotta write this down.
Definitely. That's never gonna leave. That don't leave. That will
You'll
never
be
leave.
working one day, and it just pop into your
It
head.
come up, and I'll just all day and it'll be an earworm.
And
I'll
so, as
just
soon as you get home,
type
on
it.
lunch break,
Now I type it.
just type it
I'm
out.
bougie.
Yeah.
So, you know, after we hung out at Knox Boulevard, we started, you know, through Little Foots, who lived on Knox Boulevard, started introducing us to his friends,
Yeah.
which was like, you know,
We had Bach, E-Money.
Eric,
Yeah. Tim was out there.
Tim, you know, Serge,
Sergio.
you know,
Man,
so we was all hanging out at the 163.
Malali himself was when Malali came around the scene too.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And we can't forget Open Eye, who was in the mix the
Open
whole time.
Eye.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
shout out to him. But all this was happening, and this is all happening before the digital era. So, you know, we were really harnessing our skills, and with a lot of people in it who was united.
This
and
is
doing
back
a lot
when
of footwork.
if you wanted to get your music out there, you had to go and put your music out there, and not just like you literally had to go and be like, "Yo, check out my mixtape.
you had to be like,
Check out my CD."
In
You
the
were
face.
actually handing it to people. You know, nowadays all you got to do is just post.
So-
you on Facebook, you go on YouTube,
But I want to
and just post.
I want to stress that everything that we were just talking about happened before we met at WESU. This was like what, from elementary school to like 1998.
Damn.
yeah, because we didn't even hit the 163.
Right.
We're
just
just
covered
getting
to the 163, and that was like 1998.
Right.
And that was like when the digital era was being ushered in. I think that was around the time when Eminem was making his breakthrough.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And you know,
DMX was going crazy.
Yeah, that was 97 was the year that DMX blew up. Rest in peace, DMX.
Well, rest in peace, man.
That was a big
He
loss.
dropped like 2 albums that year.
Yeah. I think
bangers.
And both went platinum.
Crazy.
In that year.
Yeah.
But that was a time where you had to like get a CD burner and to get CDs made and stuff like that right before that, and that's when we were like really fizzling out. Like people were starting to go their own ways and starting to grow into their own lives and stuff like that. So we had missed that whole, like you said, upload your song, era.
Missed it all.
So that's what I wanted to cover, because I know that anybody who knows about us and what we were doing back then can respect what we're talking about right now, from the party at Surge's house.
The Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween at the Honeycomb.
Honeycomb Hideout, we called it.
I mean, you're talking a time where, like I said, you needed to like literally like show people your music and be like, listen to this.
It was all my mini discs, cassettes, and CDs.
Yeah.
CDs pressed on the table after the show. You come over to the table. That's on your way out. We set the table up so you got to walk by it.
Yep.
And so then they come over there and buy a couple CDs. That's how you get your music out there.
So I wanted to make a conscious effort to get up with Kelly Woo, because it was like the two of us really that was really like holding that up. And Kelly Woo did his own thing too with his cousin. Tell us a little bit about you and your
Get Rich. Yeah, my cousin's out in New Haven and Chemical. They they had their music thing moving out in New Haven while we were doing our thing around the same age group. So but they were doing their thing a lot. My cousin is very, very skilled with the keyboards and everything. So he can mimic any sound. He'll take a sample and repeat it, and so he had all these capabilities with his keyboard.
Just remake beats instead of sampling.
He could do that all day. So,
that's impressive when people can do that.
Oh yeah, and he just had a good ear. He has a good ear for music. So he was doing a lot of stuff, and in the mix, I was. I had just got back from college, kind of, so I'm like in the mix. So I started going between 163 and up at my cousin's house in New Haven and doing some music up there. Cause you think 163,
It was me living down the street from him too at one time when I was up at Tony's house.
That's right.
That's when it was happening too.
Moved up there. Oh. That's where we did that
cassette tape.
Yeah, that first that coming back album.
Yep.
For the youngsters that don't understand, a cassette tape is that thing that goes in your like cousin's old car, that slot in the radio that doesn't look like it's a CD. That's a cassette.
Oh yeah.
We got to remember that we are in a generation now where there's adults that have probably never used a cassette in their life.
Right, and we were from the era where we actually like the system. What was it? The 4-track.
The 8-track?
8-track. What was
where
it?
It had the
tape
sex thing where like you put a cassette tape and it has like 4 tracks.
Oh yeah, the 4-track recorder. Yeah.
So we used to record on that first.
I was at Tony's house. That's what I had at Tony's house.
Yeah. So we would record on the 4-track first and do albums like that.
Yeah, and you only had like 4 tracks to work with, and then you like have to record one and then turn that into one other track.
Yep.
And then that's how you would add multiple tracks by bouncing it around and like.
And then when you had to record your verse, you had to get through it, or you just had to start it over.
You had to start it over.
Yeah, you couldn't
record over that, and the more you record over it, was the more hiss.
Yep.
And you couldn't do it like now where you can spit half of your verse. And then go back in and punch in the next part. That back in the day there wasn't any of that.
And that's what made it sharp, because you had to have it.
Yeah.
Right there, you had to have it.
I mean, if you think about it though, like that way compared to the way music is today would make the live performances that much better, because you already know you could still get through the whole song.
Right.
I was just about to say that. Like that's the reason why our generation might outdo in a performance, because we had to go through those type of things.
Right.
In a studio session where you had to get it right, had to get it tight. It seasoned us while we were doing that. It's like a kung fu style of learning. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like wax on, wax off. You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I doing this? But then you feel like later, like, oh, and outshine other people who are just comfortable with a song playing with their vocals in the background.
That's why you see a lot of people now messing, like when they perform their songs, they forget their own lyrics half the time, so they stumble and they mess up. That's why everybody run a track. You didn't see that before because everyone was so drilled. Having to get done from them old school artists.
And back in the day, you'd have a hype man, and like the hype man would cover those spots where you needed to take a breath, just that one word or two, and it was that word in the song that got the crowd moving more. And now it's like they don't even really like. They have a bunch of guys on stage, they're dancing around, but they still have the actual album track playing in the back.
Right.
It's too easy to record a song these days, like, literally. So by the time you got it recorded, you barely even know it, and you're already on stage performing it. And so of course you're going to need to be playing in the background because it's about your image and you just lip syncing and TikTok.
I literally seen the
rather
dude
than performing it.
I seen the dude performing on one of them award shows, and the song was going, and his verse is going. He stopped and just went. And the verse is still going. He was just mic's up here.
He's like, I'm not singing this shit.
Yeah, y'all rock to this. Y'all sing it for me.
Yeah,
I was like, that's where it's a whole new genre. That's why it's not
but back in the day, like you'd go to a concert. I remember the first hip hop concert I went to was the Up in Smoke what was it? It was Busta Rhymes,
Cypress,
A Tribe Called Quest, Fugees, and
Up in Smoke.
Yeah, Up in Smoke.
Up in Hartford, right?
Yeah,
I was at that.
That was
they had the camera out there. Wyclef had the camera in the crowd. Yeah,
that was the first hip hop concert I went to at like 13, 14, and it was like the performance, like Busta Rhymes running through the crowd. Like, how do you even keep your breath talking running through the crowd?
What a show.
Busta is literally doing his rhymes while running through the crowd. And like these rappers today, like you said, they'll hold the mic up, stop, and just do a dance.
Don't care if you don't know that, or that you know that they're like lip syncing or just not performing.
Because I do this, you're gonna give me more money anyway. That's what's gonna happen.
All I gotta do is show up.
This is all I gotta do. And you know what? I'm gonna do this next song too.
Oh man,
get more money.
That's crazy.
They like this.
I mean, there are still a few rappers out there that do it the old school way and make all their own stuff.
It should be a rule as far as performance. Like, it should be like some sort of false promotion or something.
I mean, if you're gonna go pay the price of what a concert costs today,
right?
You're paying to see a performance. If I want to watch you dance, I'll go on YouTube.
You're paying for stunts and fashion shows, like just and, oh, look, did you see your ass?
Right. They want us dumb, though. They want us dumb.
Yeah.
They don't want us talking about real stuff.
Well, I mean, that's a good point, because if you listen to what gets played on the radio, nothing with meaning anymore gets played on the radio.
That's because nobody that means anything getting signed no more.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. It takes
so it's the underground artist you'll hear it from. You'll get it.
Yeah, you'll hear it from the underground artist, and every once in a while you'll get that underground artist that kind of makes it. But then when they do make
a sneaky song.
When they do make it, they get watered down.
Right.
And also the audience is different too. They come to concerts not even prepared to party to a song. They're coming in with just to have their phone up to record it. Like, they just want to they're not even there they're not even into it the way.
Yeah, it's true. Like, people,
they probably watch. Oh my goodness, they probably watching it on the phone.
Right, they're watching the concert through their phone.
Yeah, they're watching it
talking to
phone.
A friend on FaceTime. with a concert in the corner. Yeah,
pay like $50 or something like that to do that.
I mean, it's true, because literally, if you go to a concert today and you go all the way to the back, it's like a sea of cell phones.
Yeah,
really?
A sea of cell phones.
Wow.
Any concert. It doesn't matter what kind of music it is. I went to a country concert, sea of cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go to a hip-hop concert, sea of cell phones.
That's the new lighter.
It is. And not only is it the new lighter, but that's like they turn on their light for the lighter, but they're recording the whole time. It's like...
Wow.
It's like, are you watching the show or recording the show? Remember back in the day, it'd be like no camera, no video recording, no audio recording.
You can't tell nobody.
And now you can't even say that anymore because everybody got a mini computer in their pocket.
People can't live without
the
that phone.
whole date concept about it, like when they dance with a girl and at a live concert, like about it's like totally gone. It's just like replaced by technology.
Yeah.
Like
People can't live without their phone so much. They would rather not go to the concert if they couldn't bring in their phone. That's what would happen.
Where you would think that you would be so into watching the show that you turn your phone off during the concert.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
you want to watch
but
it through your phone.
There's people that just need to check their Facebook and Instagram so much that they're like
That's
in the middle of the concert. It could be their
In the
favorite
concert.
song, and they're
You're
like,
at the concert.
I just spent $100 on a ticket. Let me check my phone.
As I check mine, this is going on.
Speaking of being attached to the phone.
Exactly. Can't help it.
So, I mean, yeah, you guys have come a long way doing music together. Since elementary school.
Long way.
Yeah,
man.
here we are now, So, like, I gave him some music recently. I gave him some CDs,
Oh. And meant to tell you, so because I heard them beats before he played them to me before, and I loved every one of them beats. I didn't even get a chance to tell you that, did I?
Nah.
Yeah, them beat that on that CD you gave me with Threat.
Yeah, the You album.
Yeah, I already got stuff.
Word.
Yeah.
Oh, so you already heard the beats.
I already heard
and already have.
What I'm guessing is you went through and listened to some beats and picked a few, and I did the same thing years ago, and most of them beats is up there because we got the same. It's the same.
Yo, it's called the You album.
Yes.
It's an album that he had created that wasn't designed for anybody to rap to, but he was like, I would love to hear somebody write a song to it. So I had wrote a bunch of choruses and verses, and then originally Josh Q stepped in. But I had wanted to. I wasn't settling.
Shout out to Threat and Q. Yeah.
Shout out to Josh Q and Big Threat. But I wasn't settling for any type of recording of it. So, Josh Q got frustrated with me not settling, and he was like, I just want to record the album. So I had got some rough drafts. You probably had heard some of them.
He ripped that beat too. Josh did.
But he doesn't want to do the album now. So that's what I'm saying. If you want to finish the album, that's the stuff that I want to work on next.
So you heard it here first on the Mix Up. New Kelly Woo coming soon.
I ain't even know.
That's what it sounds like. He's got verses already. Elvee's got beats. They got beats that they both heard before. I think that sounds like an album.
It's New Elvee and Kelly Woo because it's a unit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
yeah.
This would be like Casey and JoJo releasing something after.
We used to do this stuff called Mindless Minds. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's where all that stuff came from. Like back then, it was Symbols of Brotherhood, Mindless Minds.
Symbols of Brotherhood, yo. See what?
So that's where it all comes from. That's where it all comes from, Forever. So there's a certain chemistry about it. So that's what people have witnessed in the past. So we want to bring that back one more time for the digital era because that's when it stopped. That's when we stopped doing it. Right when that digital era came in.
Right when the chance to get your music out there was there.
Once the platform
after all the work, we did so much work when it was hard to do it and get yourself heard. We're getting people knowing us doing straight up footwork,
it's like
going to different places, and then
it's like when big time artists would have a street team.
Right, we were hitting the concrete hard,
you were your own street
going
team.
to different colleges and stuff, different schools. It was we were everywhere.
Yeah, yep.
I mean, I remember you used to do a bunch of performances at colleges, any place that would book you, and then you'd be given.
We have a Plymouth
Festival.
Went up to Plymouth.
The CDs
that
out
Plymouth show.
Yep.
Oh, I love that Plymouth show.
Yep. That was Ryan that got us hooked up.
Ryan, shout.
So, any other topics you guys want to touch on?
Just look forward to more stuff that the sound that we was doing back then. And we want to shout out everybody that's witnessed that. We don't even we called it Mindless Minds, but we don't want to say that's what we're gonna be doing right now. but it's been us. So so whatever it is, it's gonna be like retro to.
Not to copy another slogan, but I think we should adapt the slogan, "Make hip hop great again."
Oh shoot. It's not even venture that way.
Can we make hip hop great again?
Man.
I mean, I know Elvee likes to talk about hip hop as if she's a woman.
I just know like when it came like because I know you know me as a lyricist, and a lot of people know me as a lyricist because I've been always like pushing it. But when me and Kelly Woo got together, he was like more of the writer of the crew, like his lyrics, and I learned a lot of my lyric swag, believe it or not, from him and people like him and Lou Rock and Damon Sarah. You know what I'm saying? Debo, we call him.
Debo, Cuzzo.
So that's what's interesting.
So you're saying Kelly Woo helped
I've been doing it so
Pocus
long by
into
myself.
Elvee, the ultimate MC.
I've been doing it so long by myself and with other people that people don't know about, what we used to do. Like, not only because, this is the whole digital era, when we stopped doing it, but also because I survived that and I kept going. And so it's like, that's the reason why. It's the that's I can see the effect of how that happened, like because I exist and no one knows about this guy, and so it's like I wanted us to meet that and keep going past that so that we could be known, because like through digital it's like you're immortal, it's like it's forever. Like,
once you're out there, you're out there.
Yeah, and we missed that because we were like in the analog era, like what I'm saying, like
as a saying, it's like reflection of the previous, the past, because it's your energy that supplies it all. Like none of that happens without your energy. Like it's always bubbling. And that's what's so great about it, that it all
even
can
went
connect
past
like
that point. The energy that I brought to the table is like it allowed the sound that we had. It allowed it to go into the digital era.
Right. Look.
We're here right now.
We're here on an internet show. I don't think you get more digital than this.
Right.
So it's fortunate that we can reconnect, like and be doing this right now. So I want to like shout out to that and everything that we've done in the past that's leading to this. And also I'm looking forward to it because I feel like I've evolved more as a writer. Through everything that we've done and witnessing you write and being in the room, the hours of just writing and just coming up with stuff, you know what I'm saying, and me developing, and you were like, a little bit, more advanced, like,
I had the time. It was, because he'd be L sit there and make the beat, and it would be, I hear the perfect beat, like, nah, draw some baggies.
I think
and he's there for a minute, and it's like I'm there writing to this perfect beat I just heard, the whole time. So I can keep, I'm just on that, and he's in the zone, but the beat is playing to me, and I'm writing the whole time. He's still got to write to it. He's making the beat, So I had that advantage writing wise, because I had the time.
Write as the beat was being made.
As the beat was being made, I'm writing to the symbols and the syllables and where he's dropping. He sampled, because he taught me how to do the sample, and it was like on the snare part that he would teach me at that time, and it was that snare that I would start writing on. So once the snare would hit, I try to drop a snare-like word right there, and then start my patterns there. I just tried to get intricate with it because I had the time. I would be there making the beat. And that beat is gonna be made the way he heard it in his head.
Everything balanced out though. I just wish like I don't regret rapping at all, like, because I'm here right now because of it. But I just feel like if I wasn't so egotistical, we might have had a more ready, New York ready or ready record label to shop ready demo, because I would play the back, and that would be my strong forward, sort of like what he's doing now. Like, you got to play your position, you know what I'm saying? But I had fun rapping, so I was like, I want to spit a verse, you know what I'm saying? But if I had just focused on the production and you focus on the rapping, it would have been like Guru and
like Dr. Dre,
Snoop Dogg. Once again, we're talking about the balance, but I wanted to make the beat and you writing the rap, and I'm like, I'm gonna come in with this one. I should have just been like, Write another one.
He would have had headphones out. It was Beats by Ultimate.
You know what I'm saying? and then eventually I would have had my time. Once we've been rolling, I would have came up with a verse here and there, but it wouldn't have been my priority. I would have been playing my position. And I think that's probably that's what we would been like. It doesn't seem like it because we think we have all the talent in the world, but it's those things that we were missing that probably held us back from making it further. You know what I'm saying? Like not recognizing that and needed someone older than us to be like, yo, you can't rap, motherfucker. Just make the beat. Kelly, yo, write another verse, Kelly.
but on the other hand, by you doing that,
like Mello and East Harper, shout out
Mello.
to Mello.
Oh, Mello.
on the other hand, though, by you
East Harper.
doing that, you have became the MC that you are today.
Facts.
Exactly,
Right.
yo. Because I loved it so much and I didn't quit.
He didn't quit.
When I was premature, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I was rapping premature vocabulary and just knowing how to say something
ABC
and everything.
rhymes.
I didn't care. Like, you know, my song would be whack, but I was like, that's my song.
Yo, 6th grade talent show. These guys was on stage rapping for the talent show in 6th grade.
In 6th grade.
Right. So that's how long, you know, he been rapping.
Soul Flower, shout out to Sam
shout
Gersten.
Shout out to Soul, man.
So was that when he was performing as Pocus?
Yeah.
Nah, that was before Pocus. That was pre-Pocus. 6th grade. He wasn't even a trick in his mother's eyes.
See, now that I know that, the next like reaction video we do, I'm gonna be like, I'm in the studio here with Pocus.
I said they brought out Pocus, huh?
Yo, and then when we like stopped making music for a while, we had been at the same studio together, PM.
Yes.
We're both visiting PM. Rest in peace, PM. You know,
At PM, man.
you know, he helped a lot of hip hop artists. So Kelly Woo was going there. I would go to PM and he would play me a Kelly Woo song. I'm like, oh, word.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the Kelly Woo came over here and dropped that. I'm like, oh, word. I'm like, all right. Y'all ain't doing music no more? I'm like, I ain't see him in a minute. You know?
I would hear cause we had government cheese. But then it was like because he had a lot of albums going on. That was the birth of.
That's what I want to talk about. Some of the last times we got in studio sessions. That was around like 2008. I want to say on Portland Street.
Yep. Yeah.
2008.
That's right. With food.
Yep.
Shot.
So, yeah, man. So
It's been a long road. Long road.
Forever, man.
And then Kelly Woo got into like coaching and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, well, my daughter got older side of my daughter in 07. And you know, by the time she got of age, she was playing basketball for the town. So I was like, you know, I help coach and stuff. I ain't planning on doing much, you know, just help coach,
And then
get the practices. You know.
ended up doing it.
Well, the coach that was coaching that year had to stop coaching, and just like kind of threw me the reins. And, like surprised, I was like,
I don't have the time to do it anymore. Here you go.
I said like this. I said, I bring it in. You know, and brought it in. Everybody played hard. So. But yeah, that was fun. Like giving back the kids and stuff like that. That's
crazy
fun.
Because you definitely got a dope basketball game, yo. That's another thing too. Not
We always
only was
connected
we
on
an
that.
L duo or one of the illest rap duos in Middletown, Elvee and Kelly Woo, but we was also one of the illest basketball duos, like at the Freeman Athletic Center and stuff like that.
We used to ball all day there, all day.
They would get up with Riddick and T Wood and stuff like that. Whole basketball courts down, like.
I know.
City or the students, and it's like city teams from Middletown or the students that was coming in to play.
I know you actually used to play with the rapper Chester Green, Blake Curry there.
Yeah, we were talking about Blake, yo. He's got a video with Blake, and Blake used to play with us at the Freeman Athletic Center.
Blake,
Basketball.
the shooter Blake.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes. I remember he was. Yes.
Yeah,
He's
been
video.
rapping
What?
for a long time as
That's
well.
what's up.
Shout out to Blake.
Shout out.
Everybody.
Man,
at
shout
the-
out to Chester Green.
All the professors at the Freeman Athletic Center,
no
like
doubt.
Oz,
Yes, man. Oz, Lincoln,
Rob,
Rob,
all y'all.
Franz.
Yeah, what up, Franz? I still see Franz sometimes.
Yeah,
driving by.
Franz.
Yeah, so, but yeah, man. So basketball and rap, that's what we mastered, yo. And we was like one of the illest, but low key with it, like real humble with
All
it,
day,
you know?
every day, rap,
But
basketball.
real talented with it,
Yeah.
Still competing to this day. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, for real. But we're going to get back to that. The ill rap duo, Elvee Kelly Woo,
Yeah,
of the Mindless Minds. You know what I'm saying? Shout out
Mindless.
to T Wood,
Shout
Joe
out.
Muzzio, Littlefoots.
Yes, sir.
You know what
Bach.
I'm saying? Bach with 2 dots.
See what happens when we
sir.
take two old school rappers that used to record the old school way and throw them into the digital era.
Yeah.
The crazy part is
videos and all that.
because hearing him on like this crispy.
Yeah.
sound, it never was crispy back in the day, but like this is crispy. I can imagine like being in a booth and in a recording and hearing this dude's voice, because his voice he's got the voice of hip hop. Like that should be
Yeah.
If you hear it, what's the voice of hip hop? It should be
Yeah,
LV.
lyrics and delivery.
His delivery game is ridiculous. And that's where I would hone in on his delivery skill, like learn from that, because I didn't. I'm trying to figure out where. I'm worried about the words so much, like the actual presentation of it. Now I gotta get my breath right, and he would master that. It's like I'd have to learn from that, and he would teach me this stuff as he's making the beats, as he's drawing the cover, as he's doing everything.
Yeah, and I want to talk about how like when after I went away and when I came back and I had did a whole bunch of writing, and then I had came out and I had all these styles and stuff like that, and how I was trying to get everybody to understand that, and they was like, nah, we can't just
Different characters.
Yeah.
Well, he had like a good 6 different
Flows.
He had a series of albums under characters. So it was like 3 albums over here, 2 for this dude, 4 for this dude. Albums, not songs. Albums written out
For each character.
for each of these dudes.
And only like 3 got developed. One was even like less than the other. It was really like 2.5, and that was LOD and Pimp Juice.
Mm-hmm. Pimp Juice.
And Pimp Juice has been on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so to be honest, and I don't really want to put him on a spot like that, but that was inspired by this man. So
about the 01?
Yeah. He was coming out with this style that was like.
Well,
I was like, yo.
Let me at least tell the story of that. If we're gonna put it out there. So, I had just the girlfriend I had and went away to college, and I was, I'm young, I'm prime ready. So,
Well, I mean, if you had just went away to college, that's like prime time for having fun.
But no, she went away to New York.
She went away.
I'm here.
Oh, you're here
with everybody. So, so I ended up. I was like, it was kind of. I wasn't feeling the relationship anyway at the time, so it was kind of like a thing. And I don't know why I was young, I was dumb, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start messing around and then end it.
Yeah.
So ended it, and then after that, I just started writing. I went up to New Haven, and I saw my cousin, and he had this porno tape sitting on the corner of his room, like next to the wall. I didn't see it yet. He's just making a beat, and it's the beat to the 012. So he's making it. I was like, oh man. Now on my mind is, I'm about to go out there and I just decided I'm just about to break up with the chick. So I started writing. Wrote it, and I wrote the 012 in probably like half hour ago. All of it. I was just going. So I write it out, and then I'm like, oh, Rich is like, we need a sample. We need a sample in there. And he goes, wait a minute. And he looks on the floor, and there's that tape. He grabs the tape, winds it, he plays it for a minute, and like, it's going, all the sounds is going, and then that sample comes in. He's like, that's it. He said, that's it right there. He brought it back.
So he took the sample from a porn.
Yep.
And turned it into part of the beat.
It's the hook.
It's the hook.
It's part of the hook. It's the background to the hook, because it's a female climax, but the way she do it, it sounds kind of funny.
And this has got to be like, I was still in New Haven, so this is like late 97, early 98.
Yep.
And he's playing me this song in this Elantra car that he used to pick me up in.
Yep.
And
the Hyundai Elantra.
We used to just hit the back roads and
Yep.
and listen to beats, and like, and he's playing me this track, and I'm like, what?
This is like right after Akinelli came out.
It was a song with a vibe like that.
Yeah.
Like, put it in my mouth, like, you know what I'm saying? It was like that type of vibe. And
Yep.
I'm like, yo, this song is crazy, right? And then, this is at the, time where, like, I'm really getting better with my writing and hanging around these guys. We had numerous sessions and stuff like that. And then that's when I went away. And when I went away, I would think about this guy's song, 012.
Yep.
And I'm writing, you know what I'm saying? And just how my mind thinks, like how he said, I expanded like way far. It turned into a character. It really
evolved into that song. Evolved, turned you into Pimp Juice. That's crazy. A song can just bring out.
That song grew dollar signs.
It grew in afro and dollar signs.
It started a cents. They morphed into dollars.
Oh.
It started making sense over here.
Shout out to Pimp Juice. Shout out to Pimp Juice.
Shout out to Pimp.
And I came back and they were like, yo, and I recorded this album called Triple X Rated on cassette.
On cassette.
Yes, he did. Yo, crazy, yo. That was crazy. And then we did Good Stuff.
Yup. That's when all that stuff started happening.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, you gotta get down.
He's like,
you started this.
Yeah, so he had this character. Now he comes back with his character and all this stuff. He comes back and tells me, I'm like, all right. He's like, let's do the song. We did the Good Stuff one, yo.
And Fat Girl.
Yeah.
And then he helped me write Round Ass Girl, which is a lot of people know about Round Ass Girl.
I've heard that.
Sucking on the Georgia Hot.
Oh man, it's been a long time,
man.
Long time.
Ages, man.
Yeah, we had to talk about that and make this digital. I don't care how long the discussion was. You know what I'm saying? This is
this is stuff that gotta get out there, and look forward to some new stuff that might be, old stuff put together in a new digital way, and new recordings and remasterings.
Yeah, revisited songs.
And revisiting some old tracks.
There's a bunch too.
It's too much left behind, because we have to look at them as blueprints. Like go back to them.
Right. It's they're gonna be new to everybody else.
Yep.
That's
old to us and new. Old to us and new to them.
Yeah.
There's artists out there where they'll hold on to a song for years before they release it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They'll even record it, and then, they'll be like, oh, I don't want to drop the song. But then, you look at, like, when Tupac died.
Yep.
He had a library
of
so many recorded songs.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't even think to this day they've released them all.
Right. Hey, we got something that 25 years old that's...
Mummified.
I said, Mum Rod, they got to blow off the
collecting dust on the shelf.
Blow off the bandage, yo. Transfer just decayed form.
So, definitely look forward to some new Elvee and Kelly Woo.
Bet.
coming soon.
Yes, sir.
You guys got anything else you want to say before we close out the show?
Shout out to Mindless
Mindless.
Yeah.
And shout out to all local artists, all underground
Everybody,
artists.
yes, sir.
Old school, new school, no school rules. I also want to say, I'll be at wesufm.org Eastern Time every Friday, 11:30 to 12:30. The show is called Mental Town.
And I was just, before this show, talking to Elvee about making a separate channel for Elvee to do video recordings of his radio show. So look forward to that potentially coming soon.
Most definitely. Yeah.
So until next time, this has been The Mix Up. Peace.